Guess she doesn't want to get caught in the chaos of the lunchroom stampede. Oh, there we go again. I managed to avoid getting stuck in the frenzy by shuffling along the wall the long way around the lunchroom. It's a bit longer, but at least there's less risk of getting used as an improvised meat club. Hey, why don't I just go in through the courtyard? It's right there next to the table. Damn it. Yeah, next time. Hey, is there a palm tree or something by the table now? Never seen one with a trunk that's green. I get around the last of the crowd and approach the table. Damien's here, chowing down on a sandwich stacked with various meats. And like yesterday, Olivia's already at the table. Hey Damien, you seen Liz? Thought she was joining us for lunch. Without a word, Damien points to the palm tree next to us. Oh crap, that's no tree. That's no moon. I look up to see Liz's head in the rafters, prodding at the vines on the ceilings. The ceiling was a lot lower in the computer lab, so I couldn't tell as easily, but that neck is long. Anyways. Wait a minute. What's the birth process like? Like, what are they? Okay, they're human sized, so how long would be the neck, and like, what would they, what's going on inside of the womb is what I'm saying here. Like, is it curled up? Would they be curled up or something like that? Okay, wait. The body's out. Now we got the first part of the neck, the middle, up, just pull them out like that. Oh my God, just pulling them out by the neck. Oh my God, it's horrifying. Hey Liz. Hey Inko. Couldn't see you from up there till I heard you. Well, I guess I'll go ahead and get my food from the vending machines again. You can't survive on that shit, man. Making my way over to the vending machines, I do the same song and dance I did last time. A card swap and a few button presses later earned me a couple cans of soda, 2 bags of chips, and a few candy bars. You can't survive on this shit. It's like when the teacher asks if you brought enough candy for everyone, only now it's true. I head back to our table, the bundle of food stuff in my makeshift pouch, and distribute them. Gator Bros. What the fuck? Olivia gets her share, but she doesn't say anything. Oh, sweet. Why, thank you, Inko. Damien, if you'd be so kind. Already on it. Damien cracks open a can of soda just as Liz lowers her head next to him. She's wearing a novelty soda cap. Alright. Oh. She then speed swaps the old can with the new one, almost like he's swapping wheels on a Formula One racer. He was number 1. Thank you. No problemo. Liz's head cranes back up to the top of the ceiling to continue eating the foliage. So, Nico, how's your day been so far? It's been pretty decent, I'd say. I'm mostly looking forward to photography since Ben will show me some good photo spots. Cool. Damien just nods as he continues to munch on his sandwich. I think he's zoned out about halfway through my sentence. Oh, that reminds me. Did you enter in the contest yet? I did. In fact, Liz helped me out, and I submitted my photos. Awesome. Can always rely on Liz to help you out. Flattery will get you nowhere, Damien. Just saying the honest truth. Liz entered the contest too, right? Everyone must be trying to win the cash prize. The money's okay. What the fuck? Liz comes down again with a mouthful of leaves. Her hands hold up a tray with each segment filled with a different sauce. But the real prize is having your submission featured on the sponsor's magazine cover and in a featured article. How is she still articulate? Do you have any idea how great that looks on a resume? Resume, I should say a little clearer. Heck, I can probably get a scholarship with that alone. Whoa, you really got all this planned out. What'd you submit? She takes a moment to swallow her salad and then stares a huge grin. I submitted my best digital art piece. Oh, what is it? Here. The tray is set aside so she can bring out her phone to show Damien and me her entry. It looks to be a village townhouse piece, very rustic and classy. It looks pretty good. Yo, that's so cool. It looks so realistic. Thanks. Took me about a week to really blend some of the more fanciful elements into each other. I based it off my grandfather's home and from the old country. This is amazing. You can't even tell that this whole thing's digital art at all. Damien grabs hold of Liz's phone and turns towards Olivia. Hey, Olivia. She jumps up, having been suddenly made relevant to the conversation. She was just spectating. What? I'm not giving these chips back. They're mine. I was just gonna show you Liz's entry. Olivia narrows her eyes and leans over to see the image on Liz's phone. She then looks up and gives Damien a quick nod before returning to eating her chips. But she eats a lot of those. I'm sorry. Okay. Damien's smile falters a little at her minimal response, though he's back to his usual grin as Liz takes back her phone. Wow, Liz, I didn't know you were so into digital painting. Well, it looks great. Do you plan on being an artist after graduating? Aw, thanks. Well, no, I don't plan on being an artist per se. The plan is to be an antique dealer, specifically with art. Did Olivia just get a little closer? What's that mean? It means she buys the splattered canvases everyone else just uses for money laundering. And no, it'll be the real deal stuff. There'll be a real market out there for it. So I'm taking the AP business class and using the school's prestigious art program. That's actually why I picked this place out. There's a real elite selection of graduates from here. The list of successful alumni here is nothing to sneeze at. I bet Olivia's gonna be on the list someday. All eyes are back on Olivia. Damien leans forward even, as though he didn't just put the spotlight on her. Her eyes flick between each of us and her mouth starts to open. Even Liz and I are leaning closer now. Only to be disappointed as she shoves her muzzle into the bag of chips, completely tilting the bag upwards and crunching noisily on last remnants left inside of it. Damien sighs and Liz just turns her back to him. Maybe, who knows? Oh, you're the school treasurer too, right? Sure am. I'm doing everything to make sure I'm ready for the real deal. I do love painting, though. It's not just an ends to a means. Maybe that's why I want to get into trading. I can get the right people the right art they need. That's very thoughtful. I should start thinking of my future more. What about you, Damien? Don't really have a big goal set. Only reason I'm going here is because of it's the closest school to our home. Damien, you know I keep telling you about planning ahead. I know, but I like keeping my options open. So what are you doing in school? I just picked out any classes that seemed interesting to me. Though I gotta say, home economics class is pretty fun. I get to make food in class and eat it too. From learning skills in a class like that, you'd be a perfect husband. Oh. Yeah. Wait, what? What? Okay. But to get back to my point, that art contest. If I win and get that interview, it's an insane advantage. I'll say. By the way, Olivia, did you submit something for the art contest? Oh. She looks away, slightly deflated. No. Oh, God. Really? Oh, crap. I might have a chance, then. Hey, Liz, that sounds a certain way. Sorry, I didn't mean it like that. Olivia rolls her eyes and merely goes back to munching on her chips. Mr. Ideken said that you were really into painting. I mean, Mrs. Procklin wasn't too impressed with the doodle yesterday, but... Oops. Her suspicious leer is now replaced by a murderous glare. Yep, lunch is the perfect time to eat my feet. I haven't actually seen any of her real work, only something she'd done out of boredom. Olivia's eyes close as she inhales deeply, the air of neutrality returning to her once she reopens them. She looks me up and down again, as though something will be different this time. Can't. What's that mean? Besides, even if I could, they're going to be looking for the best artists here, so you gotta show that to them with how good your art is. But I don't want them to just look at me and feel like they have to give me a reward out of pity. Damien's face is frozen mid-bite, his sandwich losing its meat integrity by the second as his eyes flick between Olivia and I. I can practically hear the blaring alarm in his head as his brain catches fire, trying to connect the dots. Oh, I want to be judged for my art and not... Olivia struggles to formulate the next few words and lets out a weary sigh. It would just feel undeserved. It's easy to understand what she means. Has that ever happened before? Do people really do that? You weren't there for it. Some losers even used to tell me to take advantage of it. And why not? That was a bad move. Dude, seriously? Why? So I constantly get reminded of myself? So I can't separate myself from my work? So I can get complacent being worse so I can eventually rely on it? So the playing field can be even? That's a lot all at once. I'm not even sure I got all of that, but I definitely touched a nerve I shouldn't have. No, sorry. Olivia brushes her hair down. Look, I don't want to get rewards and praise I haven't earned. I'm seriously not that good. I really wouldn't win. She sighs and takes a long sip of cola. Can I see some of your work? She nearly spits the soda out and glares at me again, before the innocence of the question settles in. No. Man, she really shouldn't put herself down like that. We're at school to learn, after all. There's no reason to be so down on ourselves. I get it. A lot of the students here are crazy good at art. Some are probably even better now than I ever will be, and they're just starting. It's pretty scary to think about. I mean, like that landscape of the city near the principal's office. Landscape? Hold on, I took a shot of it. It's a bit tough getting my camera out now with all the books I needed for class in the way. I lay out the contents of my backpack, taking my treasured DSLR out last. After finding the shot in question in the menus, I turn the display towards everyone else so they can see the glamour shot. A freshman made that painting. Just from looking at it, I can see why it won first place. I drew that. Oh. Her name is on it, isn't it? My brain finally makes the connection with the signature on the mural. That was you? Is it that much of a shocker to you? Quite a bit, yeah. It looks amazing. For a moment, Olivia's face lightens up for my words of praise, but it quickly dissipates into a look of fatigue. I mean, it's whatever. Had to have some dumb god help me out, so it's not like I was the one who did it all. So when you say you can't enter, it's because you already won once? Yeah, basically. She looks away from us, eating her chips in silence. I've heard the expression of being one's worst critic, but I never expect Olivia to kick herself this hard. I'm mentally kicking myself thrice over just for thinking of that last part. What, something wrong, Liz? Did she bite her tongue or something? Why is she imitating one of those picture plans right now? What? Liz? What's with the look, long neck? Just surprised to see you. In better spirits is all. You're making it weird. Don't make it weird. Yeah, it's been ages, Olivia. To think a Randy like Inky here got you to open up like this in just 2 days. He gestures to me. What'd you do, man? The girl in question freezes, and Damien's thoughtless comments having thrust her into self-awareness. And she just leaves. Olivia, wait. She's gone. Well, she did give a warning. Yeah. I was just excited she was making good progress. The rest of lunch we'd spent trying to talk about Liz's art progress. Damien looked like he wanted to try to bring Olivia back into the conversation, but no one had any idea where she had gone. Still, a part of me thinks she wants to talk. So why doesn't she? Sadly, a question for another time, as Olivia is the first to gather her things and leave the table. At least Liz and Damien wave goodbye, leaving me to clean up all the trash from the table, including everything I'd removed from my backpack. Darn it. Photography class comes and goes. Since we're partners, Heidekin gives Ben and I the green light to walk around the campus. Ben shows me around to see his prime photo spots and such, and as such becomes my impromptu tour guide. It's actually pretty neat to see the parts of the school that I haven't explored yet until now. Places like the music hall and recreational pool were the most interesting to see. Currently at the courtyard, Ben points out the views of the outer landscapes around the school. No wonder why Ben was eager to show me. These views are impeccable. But while he's explaining the image he has in his head, my mind still wanders back to Olivia. I wonder what I did to make her express herself so much. Inko? Inko? Huh? I was asking if you'd be available sometime during the weekend to take photos. Oh, I'm free on Saturday. Excellent. We can meet up back here. Sounds good. As we head back to class, I begin to think if there's something I can do in history class. Back in history class, Miss Procling continues prattling on about. And after a final offensive that left the entire army of Triceratops, Dinotopia, let's call it, how the fuck am I supposed to say that? The Scythonian hegemony was defeated, bringing an end to their crimes against both Dino and humankind. With that, the Dino-Human War came to an end, and peace was finally declared after 10 years of strife. Of course, there was the manner of rebuilding and dousing all those fires still burning, as well as what to do with all the bodies and... oh god. Oh. I should probably care more about Procling's lecture, since history has extremely strong cultural connotations, but man, is it boring. Ahead of me, Olivia has returned to her default sullen, deflated gloom. She's not glaring back at me, so she's probably over whatever that was. Or she still doesn't know I'm here. Boy, will that be entertaining to see. Assuming I don't end up with a mechanical pencil jammed through a lens. Other students are similarly bored, only occasionally marking down something whenever it sounds like it'll be on a review sheet at the end of the week. There is, of course, no more note passing today. Mrs. Procling's infusion yesterday must still be on their minds. There won't be any more chances given, and even though she doesn't seem threatening on her own, the consequences will be dire. Especially if she can call Sully over like her own personal enforcer. There's simply no getting around it. This is just a period we'll all have to sit through. And there isn't even any solidarity to be had in our shared misery. It's simply the reality of high school history class. The only saving grace is that she isn't stalking around the room looking for us to do something wrong. Instead, we're being lectured at. My hand mechanically copies down whatever she's written on the board. And while I should also be paying attention to what Mrs. Procling is saying, I'm more than certain that I'll be reading the exact same things from our heavy textbook. So my eyes wander away from her and the board to scan over my peers, all equally as bored and feigning interest. Eventually, there's a bit of a movement ahead of me. And what's she up to now? Olivia folds a sheet of notebook paper back and forth discreetly, creating a deep crease. Then she licks her finger and runs it along the crease and gently pulls. The paper rips along the seams silently. Oh, is she really risking it? What's she even got to gain? It's just a note-passing game. Maybe she feels bad because she got caught yesterday. Oh boy. Olivia passes the note to her left. The student next to her raises an eyebrow, but surprisingly takes the note. And immediately passes it on without looking at it. One by one, my classmates pass the note along to the next. Nobody dares open the note and write something in. I surreptitiously keep track of the note in the corner of my eye as it makes its circuit around the room. Thankfully, Mrs. Prockling's eyes are focused on the board when I feel a tap on my shoulder. I reach for my ear as if to give it a scratch, and the folded page is pushed into my waiting fingers and against my ear. As I feel an edge grind against my earlobe, I chew my lip to make the hiss of pain contained. Ow. Probably unintentional, but a paper cut still stings bad. Ow. Oh. Especially on such a fleshy part. My fingers toy with the bundle of paper now at my desk. No one else has bothered with it. I wouldn't exactly call it an empty canvas, but there could be potential here. There's a crumpling noise beneath my fingertips. Must have unfolded it while I was thinking. I see a pretty simple rat drawing with a very realistic hand next to it giving a thumbs up. There's plenty of space this time. And Mrs. Prockling is preoccupied at the front. I doubt she'd even notice. The temptation is there, making my fingers itch at finally getting a real chance to do something fun in this sleep-inducing class. In fact, I've the perfect idea in mind that'd catch Olivia's attention. If that doesn't ruin everything, that is. She's not uncompassionate, but Mrs. Prockling has a lot less tolerance for horseplay in her class. We probably wouldn't get another chance. And going by Coach Sully's one chance policy and how these guys aren't even considering playing along, I bet it really wouldn't be pretty. Kind of makes me concerned for Olivia. I could just hold on to the note and give it back after class. Heck, Olivia would never even know. I don't think she even knows I'm in this class. Whatever. But what about the other day? She's radical to me, damn it. Meh, what's life without a bit of risk? I wait for Mrs. Prockling to start a new tangent to make sure I have enough time. She just said something about the single continent movement. Time to move. This is going to be basically a stick figure, but it's just a doodle. If only you could doodle a photograph. I'm not sure what I meant by that. I also don't know how to draw a wheelchair. It's not that hard, actually. I would know by experience. In the end, it looks more like an abstract depiction of how a bow-legged T-Rex than what I wanted. Oops, it'll have to do. I check it over one last time, as if I had the conceptualization to improve it. Ah, well. I pass the note forwards, careful not to notify the teacher. Olivia takes the note over her shoulder once more, not checking it. She seems to deflate a bit on opening the note. Probably because of all the blank space. Doesn't look like she recognizes what I did either. Maybe I should talk about it with her after class. I don't know, seems like an okay thing to do. She just passed the note again. What? What's more, the process of students taking the note and passing it along without looking at it. Although this time it's a little more collectively annoyed. It probably won't go around again. Why the heck would Olivia send the note around again? Nobody's gonna change their mind and draw something now. Is it desperation? Thoughtlessness? Whatever it is, the note's coming my way again. Once I take it, I confirm that yes, once again, nobody else wrote anything. However, there is a new doodle of a rat with a flamethrower from Olivia. Cute. Alright, I guess this time I'll draw. How about adding myself to the sketch of the half pipe? This time I just depict myself as a stick figure. No use trying to go outside my skill level for a note passing game. It's simple enough to do. I even include my sunglasses. Yeah, I'm liking this. Maybe I should also make sure Mrs. Brockling isn't looking my way. Yeah, she's not right now. I'm in luck. Alright, time to pass this on. I pass the note forward once more. Olivia pinches the note between two fingers, still not looking back. I keep saying that, but I guess it's not weird. Why would you look back in that situation? She checks the note and looks a bit down again. She glances up to the corner I'd drawn in. I nearly fall out of my seat from the sudden loud noise. There is a moment of unwavering silence before a voice speaks up. Mrs. Halford? The girl in question shrinks in her seat in embarrassment. Sorry, Mrs. Brockling, I saw a spider. Mrs. Brockling simply sighs, muttering to herself and turning her attention back to writing more notes on the board. She turns her head back slowly, just enough to be able to make eye contact with me. While she eyes me with judging contempt and curiosity, I see her hand is tenderly massaging the tip of her tail. Looking at the floor, I think she managed to chip the linoleum. Oh my god. As soon as Brockling turns around to continue teaching, Olivia scribbles something down. She turns to look at me once more, hesitating. Then she flicks the note in my direction. It completely misses me. I try to catch it midair, but end up slamming my face into my desk to get it. Oh! Mr. Nito, what was that noise? I palm the note into my sleeve and then strain to keep my injured eye open. The teacher probably meant the foot stomping. I found that spider, Mrs. Brockling. The teacher grimaces. That better be cleaned up by the end of class then, Mr. Nito. Yes, ma'am. I breathe a sigh of relief as my excuse weathers Mrs. Brockling's stare. She turns a few pages in a textbook lying on her desk, instructing the class to do the same as she searches for something. She's distracted. I can finally see what Olivia drew. There is now a surprisingly detailed dodgeball whizzing towards my stick figure's head. I want to be upset, but I find myself admiring her motion lines. Seriously, she should be an animator. I mull over what to add and settle on giving the large rat sunglasses as well. A few seconds later, he looks twice as cool as before. I look up to Olivia, pondering how to get it back to her when a sinister idea comes to mind. Her hood hangs open as it rests on her back. It's a tough shot, but... Oh, you idiot. Bingo. Olivia scratches at the back of her neck and finds the note. She looks back with squinted eyes, judging my intent and scanning me for foul play. She mouths something at me, a question I think, but I'm not the most apt lip reader, especially when said lips are thrice as long as a human's. Still, she unfolds the page, and seconds later she's already added a new sketch and folded it up. The note lands neatly on my desk this time, and I inspect the latest edition. More rats doing decidedly non-rat activities. I wonder what she'd think of a cat this time. We continue passing the sheet back and forth, adding new sketches and adding to others. My fingers are starting to tire when Mrs. Brockling addresses Olivia. "All right, Miss Halford, you may leave now. Everyone else, you may take the last 5 minutes to start on your homework." Olivia takes her time to pack away her supplies, occasionally glancing my way. Gone is the paranoia. It's now become just plain confusion. As if I wouldn't play the doodle game thing with her. Even as she wheels down out of the room, I notice her eyes still on me. I give her a wave goodbye, and she seems shocked by that, turning her head and finally passing through the doorway. Right then, homework. Oh, crap. It only now occurs to me there's a pretty good reason the teacher doesn't want us slacking off during class. Yeah, seems so. For the last 5 minutes, I try to speed read the second chapter in its entirety. Failing to get any good information to use for today's homework, I resolve to just check online for a lecture that's not as boring. Maybe one with some good animation even. When the rest of us are finally excused, I realize that I still got the page full of doodles. Considering all the stuff on it, it'd feel like a waste to just toss it away. I decide to keep it, slipping it into one of my binder's extra plastic sleeves. With everything safely packed away, I shoulder my backpack and exit the room. Man, now I get why Olivia gets to leave some classes early. The halls are so packed and chaotic, once class ends, I always end up being pushed around by rowdy students headed towards their next classes. Once school ends, it's even worse. When I saw it yesterday, it was something else. The word riptide comes to mind. I ended up just waiting around for a few minutes for the flow to die down. It's looking like that's just going to be my routine now. I pass by a few more art displays on my way to the stairs back down to the first floor. This isn't the art wing, but there's still a bunch of displays up. Maybe there simply isn't enough space. Something presses into my chest and lurches me to stop. It's Olivia, holding an arm out to stop me. She's still staring at me though less suspiciously. Her jaw's open, but no sound comes out. She realizes her hand is still out and it retracts awkwardly, indecisively darting between her hoodie pocket and her armrest. Is she expecting something? Oh, the note maybe. Hey, you could have told me. Huh? That you were in Mrs. Prockling's class too. You could have mentioned that. Sorry, I guess I was sort of aiming for a bit of a Dramatic reveal there. She brushes her hair aside. Well, whatever. Later, I guess. Why did you stop me out here? She stops her chair mid-turn, with gray eyes contemplating the dirty floor. I don't really get you. Olivia's eyes turn back to me, and now I can see the nervousness in her pupils. Why do you care? Why indeed? Well, I guess the main reason is I want to be friends. With me, though? Sure. Those tiny moments in which I saw the Gator girl hyperanimate come to mind, and I can't help but smile. Those small shows of just genuine feelings. I think Mr. Ideken was right, honestly. Olivia hums in disagreement, finally turning away. Ah, crap, maybe that was too forward of me. I swing my backpack around so I can reach inside of it. I still have that note. Note? What, with the doodles? From class right now? Why? Just figured you'd want it. It was fun filling it out and all. Just as I'm about to pull out my binder, the Gator girl looks back at me and shakes her head. It's just doodles. You can throw it out. Keep it. If it's so important. For the briefest second, I swore I saw her mouth form a tiny smile. But now she's back to looking neutrally at... Didn't notice the school had elevators. Why don't more people use it? She flashes a key from her pocket. It's part of her accommodations. Makes sense. By now, the hallway has cleared up a bit. The elevator arrives, and Olivia rolls in. She moves her arm to push the button and jams the key in some slot. What's that look for? You coming? Oh. I slide in beside Olivia just before the door closes. Oh. It's probably safe to catch your foot in and just reopen, but man, this thing is ancient. There's an inspection certificate lazily plastered above the door from the side. It's covered in coffee stains and other signs of age. Is this thing really safe? Olivia shrugs. What's the worst that'd happen? Our legs break? A lot more than that. She eyes me with a smirk. This may have been a mistake. Oh. My heart drops as the space around me seems to drop for a split second. The sound of a little worn-out elevator mechanics fills the cramped space. How slow is this thing? I look over to Olivia. She uses this thing daily. Surely it normally runs smoother. Her mouth hangs slightly open in an amused grin, watching my sudden onset claustrophobia. Relax, dude. This is normal. Alright, this is normal. This thing jostling around like it's going to drop us at any second is completely normal. When we reach the bottom, the doors clunk open, and I practically fall out. Olivia casually rolls from behind. Somehow, I sense it's with a degree of superiority. Anyway, see you later. Oh, yeah, see ya. Olivia rounds a corner, and I'm left on my lonesome. My senses return to me, and I start making my way to the metro station. As I make the journey home, it strikes me how much progress I've made with Olivia. It's definitely still in its awkward phase, but I can see that she's opening up little by little. And it's starting to become amusing seeing her get confused by my friendly gestures. All in all, I got a pretty good feeling about this. Liz and Ben sure were overreacting, though. I'll be sure to tell them all about it. A week into September has come and gone, and I'm finally feeling acclimated to St. Hammond. Things have been going pretty smooth lately, if I do say so myself. Over the past week or so, I've been getting more and more used to my new friends, learning new quirks of them daily over lunch and in their classes. Like Olivia's penchant for tail whips. My. As I sit on the metro to school, my foot comes up to prod at the tender spot on my shin. I also learned not to borrow Olivia's stuff without asking. She usually tries to keep to herself, even when we're partnered up, but I do my best to play nice. Not to say she's being rude or anything, just quiet. More and more, I kind of figured that part of her silence was just nerves. Accepting that silent facet, I think we found some small understanding between us. Enough that I think she's starting to see me as a friend now. Among other things, Damien and Liz have given me their numbers. Or rather, Damien gave me both his and Liz's numbers. At first, I thought Liz would be mad that Damien had basically doxed her, but she didn't seem to mind once he explained his reasons. I also got Ben's number since he figured we'd be doing a lot more team projects in photography class. My eyes roll over the past messages from my new friends. I became so engrossed rereading them that I nearly missed the announcement of my stop. I scrambled to get off the metro, the closing doors just catching my jacket and forcing me to yank it out before I'm dragged down the tracks. Oh my god. Not going to let that bring my mood down, though. It's Friday. Gotta get down on Friday, meaning that after today comes the weekend. It's a quick walk from the station, and I can see the school enter my field of view now. The school looks completely barren. Is it closed? Weird. I look around at some of the small stores that surrounded the school, the ones that are usually staffed by student workers. They are also empty. One of them has lights on, but it just looks like the manager is looking over some paperwork inside. I don't recall any announcement about a holiday today, and while I admit to having forgotten what day it was in the past, I'm absolutely certain it's Friday. So where is everyone? Even the entryway to the school is barren. The door probably won't even open. Yep. Hello? I dance a bit in front of the camera watching the door. It does not respond. You know what? Damien would know what's going on. I flip through my contacts and find Damien's number. I put the phone to my ear and pray that he picks up. After a minute or so of waiting, the dial tone cuts off and is replaced by Damien's voice. Yo, what up, Nico? Hey, Damien. I'm at the school right now and it looks like no one's here. Know what that's about? Huh? What do you... There's a brief pause on the other end of the line. Oh. Didn't you hear? Hear what? Today's the last warm day of the season, so everyone's celebrating. Celebrating? Yeah, we're actually having a cookout at my place today. Say, you want to come over? The generous but spontaneous offer causes me to hesitate for a moment to respond. Thanks for the offer, Damien, but it's alright. I wouldn't want to intrude on your guys' party. What? It's no big deal at all, dude. My folks enjoy the company, and there's going to be plenty to eat, too. Plus, Olivia's here as well. I weigh my options, either go to the party, or I could just take the metro back home and sit in my room doing nothing. Inky, still there, buddy? Yeah, still here, just clearing my schedule. You sure it wouldn't be an issue? Of course not, amigo. A friend of mine is a friend of the family. Well, alright then. Nice, I'll text you the address. See you soon, compadre. With that, the call ends, and not a few seconds later that I got a text notification. D-Man. Crichton Road. Go the long way around, the neighbor doesn't chain his dog, lol. Good. I copy and paste the address on my Google Maps. Looks like Damien lives pretty close to the school. Of course, it's a little longer than Damien's instructions, but I'm not about to try out running a loose dog with my physique. Well, better make my way over then. There it is. 61193. The house looks standard for a house in this neck of the woods or neighborhood. It's a one-story place, but it looks pretty spacious. Definitely a family house. I walk up the stone step path to the front door and ring the doorbell. The grocery bag wrapped around my fingers is starting to chafe a bit. I could have just come right away, but it felt bad coming over empty-handed, so I got something for the party. It's Pepsi. You have to bring Pepsi to a party. A simple salad bowl from one of the local stores on the way over. It doesn't seem like much, but as my mom taught me, it's courteous to come to the party with something. Actually, I realize how ill-prepared I look for an end-of-summer celebration. With Damien mentioning a pool, everyone else just must either be wearing casual clothes or swimwear. Meanwhile, here I am, looking overly formal. Not like I could have thought to bring swim trunks to school. The door swings open and out steps Damien. Ninko? Wow, man, you're crazy early. And you've come bearing gifts. Yep, here I am. I didn't want to come empty-handed, so I stopped by the store and got a salad. Aw, you didn't have to, dude. Seriously, though, you really didn't have to. My family and I are carnivores. But thanks. Still, it's not like even 10. It's not even 10, man. You didn't give me a time, so... Nah, that's my bad. Still, since you're here already, come on in. Well, don't I feel silly. Damien still accepts the grocery bag and chucks it off to the side somewhere. Come on, everyone's out back right now. He turns back, making for a sliding door on the opposite end of the house. Following her after, I barely have time to take in what I think is the living room and dining room. There's a number of toys strewn about, foam dart guns, and loose game controllers. Damien opens the glass door and gives me a small push out of the house. Hey everyone, we got a guest already. Well, wait a minute. Alright, well, he stopped it somehow. Well, you can still see it for a second. Hey everyone, we got a guest already. Stepping out onto a wooden deck, I'm surprised to see the pool and yard. To the left of me is what looks to be an older, heavier set version of Damien. Oh my god. What the fuck? Well, howdy there. My first instinct was Hank Hill, but... God, that... It looks like somebody else. I don't know. Kind of looks familiar. I don't know what it could, if it could possibly be anything though, if it's not original. Well, howdy there. Hello, sir. I'm Inko. He shifts the barbecue tongs from his right hand to his left so he can shake my hand. Randy Payne. You can just call me Randy, though. I hide the grimace as we shake hands, feeling what I'm guessing is a very sticky marinade, now clinging to my palm. Didn't think someone would come this early. I just finished getting the good stuff all sauced up. As soon as he lets go, he focuses back on the piles of different meats heaped up next to the grill. Meanwhile, I grab some nearby napkins to wipe the sauce from my hand. What's on the menu? Let's see here. We got brisket, flask, ribs, sirloin, tenderloin. Sorry for my... Top sirloin, bottom sirloin, rounds and shanks. That's a lot of cow. All marinated in my special mix of wet rub and dry rub seasoning. Oh wow, that's a lot, as Randy. Me, Damien, and Self will be doing it in shifts. If you're interested, I'll let you lend a hand too, if the missus doesn't rope you into carrying too much around. Sure, sounds fun. I've never actually grilled before. It's not too tough, you'll see. Now that I'm here, I can finally ask Damien the question that's been on my mind. Hey Damien, so I've been curious this whole time. What exactly is this celebration anyways? Oh yeah, I haven't told you yet. Well, you see, before Damien can properly explain, a motherly voice cuts him off. Damien, sweetie, you shouldn't keep your baby brother waiting any longer. At the mention of the younger sibling, a tiny Damien clone jumps over the deck, railing and... Oh my god, it's adorable. Acid punch! Oh, no, that'll kill me. What the fuck? Oh! Oh god, why? Why? Oh goodness. That's a shirt only a mother would wear. Vinny. Pine sauce? What? God damn, son. Look, bro, just like from Power Raptors. I told you I could do it. I'm so sorry, Inko. Vincent, this is why I don't want you watching those violent shows. Yeah, Power Rangers. Woo! The younger dino isn't listening. He's already run off to find another victim. You alright? Yeah, I'm fine. Was that really acid? No. No. But here, you should wipe that off. Now, I take the towel handed to me and wipe off the splotch on my pants from where Vincent is punched. Uh, Dilophosaurus spit only gets more acidic after they reach puberty. Oh, okay. I begin to rub away the spittle from my pants with a bit more urgency. Thankfully, he's more me than his mother. Otherwise, you'd need a new pair of pants. That's an actual thing. Randy laughs. So, you must be Damien's new friend from school. Indeed I am. Damien's mom's head pops up at the side of the deck with a tired smile. Hello, ma'am. Thank you for having me. Oh, I didn't know we had someone visiting. I would have cleaned up more. You can just call me Sophia, dear. Speaking of school, Damien told me that you were there. What? That you were there. Why'd you be going there today of all days? Honestly, I didn't even realize that today's a holiday. Usually I mark them on my calendar, but it must have flown over my head. It's no worries then. It's mainly us dinos who celebrate it. Yeah, Damien told me a bit about it, but I'm not sure I fully understand. In that case, I'd be more than glad to clue you in. It's called Summer's End, as today marks the last warm day of the season. After this, fall and winter start rolling in. Interesting. Well, this'll probably make me sound stupid for asking, but how come you celebrate it? To put it simply, the cold might be manageable for warm bloods, but for us reptiles, it's no bueno. So we spend the last day soaking in the sun and enjoying the warm weather before it starts getting chilly. That makes sense. Next thing you know, everyone's wearing extra layers and putting up the heat lamps. Though it apparently used to be ice age levels of frigid back in my granddad's age, so I guess we can consider ourselves lucky. Otherwise, we'd be nothing but a couple of popsicles with our tails for sticks. The patriarch lets out a laugh that's as infectious as his son's. He wipes a tear from his eye as he goes back to flipping the meat on the grill. Anywho, we're going to start cooking up the food, so make yourself comfortable. Thank you, sir. I mean Randy. While Damien's dad attends to the grill, I move to the banister overlooking the pool. It's filled with a couple of aquatic toys and air-filled floaties. Man, I wish my place had a pool. Well, I do have extra jeans at home. Ruining one pair won't be a huge issue. On second thought, it'd be real annoying to deal with drying off and going home. I wonder how deep. Oh my god. Ugh. Ugh. The hell are you doing here? I was invited. Focus on her face, not on the other things. Oh god. What the heck are you doing here? I live here, moron. Crap, right. Damien even told me on the way. Anyways. No, really, why are you here? Nobody was at school when I got there. Huh? Yeah, check the doors and everything. They announced the holiday yesterday in homeroom. Didn't you hear it? That's what Liz said over the PA yesterday? I thought it was a school's anthem or something. No wonder everyone was staring as I saluted. Must have not been paying attention. But yeah, asked Damien what was up. He said there's some event going on and invited me. Olivia sinks a bit into the water, actually. Stupid question, but... Are you really okay to swim? There's that glare again. Of course, why wouldn't I be? I guess you would use your tail. Maybe. I don't know. Well, you know. Thankfully, she gets what I'm saying. Sorry. She simply rolls her eyes. I like it in the water. I kind of wish I knew about all this earlier. I'd have brought my trunks. Ew, no, I'm not sharing my pool with you. Why not? Instead of answering me verbally, Olivia's tail whips up some water at me like a large wave. Yo, Inko, come check this out. Olivia takes the opportunity to slink back into the water. I think she's doing a weird version of the dead man's float. Whatever. What's Damien yelling about? Yeah, Damien? Well, first, my little bro has something to say to you. Better not end in unch. Sorry for giving you an acid punch, Inky. Looks like he taught his younger sibling about my nickname, too. It's alright, Vinny. Vinny extends his hand for a handshake instead of Mr. Beast on his shirt. It took me a minute to realize what that was. You want some Mr. Beast burgers? Vinny extends his hand for a handshake, though it's obscured by his sleeves. I don't know how kids can stand that with their fucking sleeves being that long. Why are the sleeves so long on these shirts?